Fresh off the heels of Hisense letting us know that their 116-inch UX RGB mini LED TV will cost a whopping $30,000, well, we felt like it was as good of a time as any to take a look at the rest of their 2025 TV lineup, for those of us that don't have 30 grand in the theater room fund. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. One of my favorite parts about what Hisense has been doing the last few years is that each year, even their lower tier TVs take a significant step up. Like, we know what the U8 lineup is gonna give us. It's been about as good as they come for, your standard higher tier mini LED TV for a while. And we're gonna get to that and a couple of the TVs that sit above the U8 on the totem pole as well. But now we've got more to look forward to as far down as their budget models as well. So let's start right there with the Hisense QD6 and QD7 models. And you guessed it, QD stands for quantum dots. With the QD6, you're getting the boosted color vibrance that comes from quantum dot technology, plus some features that you typically have to spend a little bit more for. You've got Dolby Vision available for HDR viewing and Dolby Atmos audio. This model also runs Amazon's Fire TV, for what it's worth. All that said, the QD6 is a direct lit LED TV. So while HDR is available, it's far from the best that Hisense offers because, again, it's a pretty budget TV. At 65 inches, it retails at $500, but it's often on sale for considerably less than that. It's a really good TV to put somewhere that you want a TV for convenience, but probably not where you'd want to put the main movie and sports watching daily driver. The QD7 is where you enter mini LED territory and take a step up. This model at 65 inches comes in at $600 and, to me, would be a better starting point, especially given its price and the fact that it's also frequently on sale. Price aside, combined with full array local dimming, the QD7 is going to give you a much better picture with more control of the lighting. In fact, if you don't look too deep, you might start to think, okay, what's the difference between a budget QD7 and the U6 where you get into the real ULED lineup? So that's what we're here to answer. While they do share features like a mini LED backlight with full array local dimming, first and foremost, it's brightness that's going to make a significant difference on the U6. The U65 QF, F standing for Fire TV, reaches up to 1,000 nits peak brightness according to Hisense. To help justify its $1,000 retail price, the U6 also has a 144 Hz native refresh rate compared to just 60 Hz on the QD7, plus Hisense's AI smooth motion and a suite of gaming features. More differences can be found with inputs. The U65 QF has 2 HDMI 2.1 ports and 2 HDMI 2.0, while the QD7 is limited to 4 at HDMI 2.0. So who would I say this year's U6 is for? The person that takes their TV viewing a little more seriously and wants more of what Hisense has to offer in terms of technology and performance. Now, if this were 2023, you might say, well, did they leave room above the U6 for higher models? All of this sounds pretty good. Think about it. Back then, with the U8K, a TV that we had a lot of high praise for, Hisense advertised peak brightness of 1,500 nits, even though I believe it ended up eclipsing that number. Back to the present, this year's U75QG, with the G meaning this TV has Google TV, this model reaches a peak brightness of 3,000 nits and has a few tricks up its sleeve compared to the U6. The U7 also comes with a more advanced speaker system, offering 2.1.2 multi-channel surround sound, the IMAX enhanced audio format, and an ATSC 3.0 tuner compared to just ATSC on the U6. You're also getting a native refresh rate of 165 Hz, a remote control that's backlit, and 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. So for the gamers that want to connect more than one latest gen console or PC to the TV for gaming, this is going to be a good one. So how would I sum it up? Well, I'd say one of the best deals in mini LED TVs gets even better. It's currently listed at $1,500, but it wouldn't surprise me at all to see this TV go on sale for well below that as we get closer to the holidays. Oddly enough, at least at the time of writing this, Best Buy has the next TV on the list, the U8QG, on a big sale right now, down from $2,200 to $1,400, a little bit cheaper than what the U7 is listed at right now. So if you are in the market for a great 65-inch TV, now seems like the time to act on the U8. But what are you getting with that? Well, let's talk about that. You guessed it, we get another bump in brightness, up to 5,000 nits on the U8 QG, plus 4.1.2 multi-channel surround sound. Also, both of this year's U7 and U8 models are Wi-Fi 6E compatible. So if your home internet supports it, you'll get even faster speeds for streaming and cloud gaming than you would with a TV with Wi-Fi 6. To me, the Hisense U8 QG is a really nice sweet spot. It's among the best of what Hisense has to offer, more brightness than you probably need with the video and audio formats that make 4K streaming and gaming a dream. Still, sitting as the flagship in the lineup is the Hisense U9 QG. Brightness is further enhanced with an even more advanced processor hitting up to 6,500 nits, and so is 4K and HDR upscaling. Typically, the U9 series TV would only come in sizes larger than 65 inches, but this year, I believe Hisense is offering a 65-inch model as well that sports the same 4.1.2 surround audio as the U8. However, if you do go for the 75 or 85-inch U9 QG, you'll get 5.1.2 surround. And finally, the big one, literally and financially, the 116-inch UX Trichroma RGB mini LED TV, which comes in at $30,000. Though, of course, at least as I'm recording this, Best Buy already has it listed on sale at $25,000. In case you missed our previous videos discussing its price and capabilities, what makes the UX so special is that instead of only using white LEDs with a color filter as its light source, the UX uses red, green, and blue mini LEDs to create more vibrant and saturated colors and improved contrast. On top of that, the UX also includes a 6.2.2 CineStage X surround system, making it not just the best looking TV that Hisense offers, but the best sounding as well. Like I've touched on a few times, say what you want, but don't say Hisense hasn't been pushing the envelope every single year when it comes to improving TV brightness and performance while keeping prices relatively low for consumers, besides the $30,000 TV. And I'll leave you with this. For those of you out there who prioritize size over most other features, a brand like Hisense is where you need to look for some killer deals. The 100-inch U65QF, for example, is currently on a big sale. It seems like it always is, at just $2,400. So do your research, ask your questions in our You Ask series, but know that even as we're seeing prices on a lot of electronics go up due to, tariffs, there are still deals to be had. As always, thanks for watching the video and your support of the channel. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, send it to a friend who may be in the market for a new TV, and let us know in the comments what you've got your eye on. We'll see you again soon.